Okay, everybody. So just wanted to welcome you all to our interest meeting tonight. I'm Coach Kapler, Brent Kapler. Those of you guys who haven't met before, I'm the current head coach over at St. Lucie West Centennial High School, and I wanted to go ahead and try to branch out and get us a club team for the off season in the Treasure Coast area. So I wanted to go ahead and go through some things with y'all to kind of gauge your interests and let you know ahead of time what to expect. Be aware it's my first time doing this. I'm assuming it's your first time doing this too, but wanted to get this going so we can try to improve and expand access to the game of flag football outside of just the high school season. So I want to go ahead and share some things with you, and we'll go from there. So first and foremost, like I said, welcome. Appreciate y'all coming. When it comes to the best points of contact for those of us who will be running the program this year, it's going to be myself, Coach Garland Heath. We'll have a couple more volunteers helping us out, trying to get some more local coaches as well to possibly join in, just so we can maybe get some more players from other programs coming out, but also just to have more hands on deck. I feel like if we can get more people involved, the more we can kind of expand the knowledge and the skill sets of the girls coming out to play. So if you aren't already following, which I'm assuming most of you are, if you're here, the Twitter account is at TC Tide. Most of the announcements and everything will be coming from that account. We also have a remind set up to have direct contact with you all in terms of, if practice is canceled for whatever reason, it's probably going to come through remind. It's a little bit more straight to you. Any kind of inquiries or questions, things that might need to be addressed from maybe parent to coach, or if I need to give you guys information in terms of possible places to stay in a certain area if we're traveling somewhere for a tournament that might be overnight, it's probably going to come from that TC Tide Flag Football email account. So I'll make sure that once we get you guys set up today, I'll send this presentation out. I'll also try to send you guys any links that might need to be utilized or accessed, but you guys will definitely get this sent to you. So again, with the Twitter account, if you have not visited it yet, please do so. If you go to the actual account, the pinned tweet on that account is going to have a Google Forms document that's going to get us some basic information from you as a player. It's going to ask you essentially what your experience is with the game. Are you brand new to it? Have you played it for a couple of years? Did you do it in middle school? What have you? Lets us know what grade you're going to be in entering the fall semester, so starting in 2021, so we can get a gauge of if we're going to be back for a few more years or it's going to be your only season out with us, and also what kinds of positions you might be interested in playing. So maybe you haven't played before and you just want to go out for offense, that option's there. If you know that you've played running back and you want to do that, quarterback, whatever. So if you get a moment, go over there and fill that out if you could. I see some of you guys have already, so that's great. But make sure you go ahead and get that information to us when you can. As far as the remind sign up, if you're not currently on your phone, or if you're able to kind of exit out of the presentation real quick and sign up for this, it's probably the best thing to do. If we're going to do the one thing out of this meeting tonight, best thing is probably get signed up for this. So to get signed up for remind notifications, you're going to want to text at TC Tide Flag, so that entire segment there with the @ symbol, to 81010. If for some reason you have an issue sending it to that number, you can also try that 954-369-1188. Those of you guys who use this in school, you probably already have an account, so it might not tell you a welcome message. Parents, you guys are also welcome to go ahead and sign up for it if you're in here. Just make sure you kind of denote that you're a player, you're a parent, not a player. So this is the best format for us to kind of communicate back and forth, very one-to-one. So if you are going to miss practice that day, it's short notice or what have you, you can let us know. If for some reason there's something that comes up and you are not going to be able to make it to a tournament, that would be a good way to let us know also. Email also works. And you can also send messages on Twitter. This will just come straight to our phones. So probably the best way to do so. I'll leave that up there just for a moment in case you still need to go ahead and get that information. But like I said, I'll send this out so you guys can get a hold of it and access it as need be. Okay, so if you haven't gotten a chance to do that just yet, like I said, it'll be sent out afterward. As far as practice, right now we're looking at starting June 1st. So after that long weekend, give you guys a little bit of time to also make sure you get signed up through AAU, to get that fee paid and so on. We're planning on trying to go Tuesdays and Thursdays at Winter Lakes Park in Port St. Lucie. It's near the Torino area, almost on the border there at Fort Pierce. This was the only park in Port St. Lucie that would give us field time. Every other field has downtime in the summer. So right now, they're the one that's open. We're going to attempt to go 4 to 6 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We can negotiate some things in terms of that time and possibly those days, but it's kind of subject to availability, being that it's going to be the only field that's open. We're going to try to get it as often as we can and try to keep it the same days so you guys can schedule work and all that kind of stuff around it. And if we do have any holidays like 4th of July or something like that that falls on a holiday, we'll probably have that day off. So this is also going to be our location for the time being. We do have another potential location at the PSLAA field near Treasure Coast High School, but they're on downtime right now, so we can't utilize that until later in the summer when their fields are open back up after conditioning and all that. So again, I'll send you guys out this information if you need it. You'll get the presentation, but right now count on Tuesday, Thursday, a little bit later in the afternoon while we still have the sun to work with us. We'll take that advantage and use it then. In terms of getting signed up so you can be part of the club, each player, if they're going to be playing with the organization, has to sign up for an AAU membership. In order to do that, you're going to go to play.aausports.org. You're going to get a platform that looks just like this when you show up. And basically when you get there, you're going to click on get a membership. And then it's going to, that's going to ask if you want a youth athlete membership or non-athlete or adult athlete membership. You guys are going to be part of a youth program, so make sure you hit youth athlete. Like I said, I might be going through this a little quick, but it's going to be sent out to you afterwards so you can reference it as you need to. In terms of the sport you're going to be selecting, it's football, specifically flag for girls and women. And when you select your coverage directly below that, please choose extended, only because there may be some tournaments that we want to go and play in that are not necessarily run by an AAU program. And this will allow us to participate in those and still have you covered in terms of being a part of the program. When it comes to the membership term, you can go ahead and choose the current year. The only thing is, if you choose the current year, it's going to run out as of August 31st of this year. So the membership terms go from September 1st to August 31st of the following year. It's just how it lands. So for those of us who are starting up in the summer, it's kind of a bummer to pay, $16 for a full year, but you're only getting a few weeks. I would suggest going with 2 years because you're going to have to re-up it at some point anyway. But if you just want to take it $16 at a time, you can. When it comes to the club, you're going to notice down below, it says, are they a member of a club? Yes, you do have a club to sign up for. We are going to have our own code. And when you put it in down there below, the code is going to be W33YDT. When you put it in there and click Find Club, it's going to pop up and say Treasure Coast Tide 2021. And then you'll be good to go. You can print off your membership card. I'll be able to go ahead and see who our members are that sign up almost directly after you're done. They're going to take a few hours, I'm sure, to go ahead and verify and do background checks. But since you're teenagers, typically no major incidents. But just make sure that you go ahead and do that. You can't practice unless you're a member. And we can't take part in any tournaments unless we have enough girls to play. So this is going to be the main thing to make sure you do before June 1st. Getting ahead of myself. I almost said July. When it comes to uniforms, jerseys, I found somebody who can go ahead and make us some that will get here in time for the first scheduled tournament. If you're not aware, and I haven't told you yet, the first scheduled tournament that we're trying to get into is going to be on June 12th and 13th down in West Palm. So they've kind of agreed we can get these by the 11th. So that way I can go ahead and hand them out on game day, basically. But we're going to need to get a home and away. They're $32 a pop. So basically makes it $64 before taxes. So that $32 is going to include a couple dollars for shipping, but you'll still have tax tossed on top of that. They're going to be sent to me, and then they'll be distributed once we get together and have all the orders in. What I was going to say in terms of bottoms, just wear black shorts with no pockets. Can't have pockets in any form or facet of flag football, just kind of a bylaw. Flags, of course, be provided. So I'll have that for you all. The link is there. You can't click it right now, so I'll get it to you guys. And in order for us to get these in time for our first game day, for our first tournament, the shop or that link is supposed to close Friday morning. So I know it's short notice, but we're kind of working at a crunch if we're trying to get into that tournament. So with that, when it comes to tournaments, there's going to be a few kind of spread out between now and the start of high school flag season. So the way it's going to work is the cost for entry is going to be divided by player, and you're going to be responsible for giving that amount for yourself to be entered into the tournament. So say we have 20 players, entry fee is going to be $300. Each player is going to go ahead and toss in $15. We can go ahead and pay the tournament fee. Now, they're going to be typically more prevalent in the summer in terms of, June, July, and August. But there will be some tournaments later on in the winter, and even, I guess you can call it spring, early spring. At least in Florida, it's probably spring in February. One of the other club coaches told me that they had a tournament all the way up to the weekend before high school practice started. So as long as it's not during FHSAA season, we can play in the tournament. So as they come up, I'll let you all know about them. I'm going to try to not travel all that far. I wouldn't want to make any of you guys have to worry about getting, hotel rooms and stuff like that. So We're going to see what we can do about making, one-day trips, or if they're close enough like West Palm, we can just go down the first day and then come back the second day. But of course, if your parents want to put you up somewhere, that's up to them, especially if they're taking you there. So in regard to upcoming tournaments, as I was saying, the first one up is going to be West Palm, the 12th and 13th of June. There's another one that is slated to be down in the Miami area the following weekend on the 19th. That's a single day tournament. There's one currently being proposed over in the Tampa area, Ruskin, July 17th and 18th. They're going to have a couple in Lakeland, one in July later in the month, and then one in August when we're back in school. There's also one slated for Lakewood Ranch or Bradenton area in earlier August, right about when we start school. So those are the ones that are currently on the docket in terms of if we want to go, we can go. We just got to pay the fees for them. The first one, the one in West Palm, is going to be $275 for the whole team. So again, depending on how many girls we have, it'd be divided by the amount of girls, pay that in, and we'll get it signed up and ready to go. Most of them are going to guarantee us 4 games. So it could be 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. Typically, it's going to be how it's divvied up. But again, there's just more programs, more clubs trying to get the sport growing and trying to get girls more active and more playing time to just make it a better received and better played sport all around. If we do come into a situation where we are traveling or need to get a place to stay, we do not have any money for a new program. So I can't pay for hotel rooms. And when it comes to travel, you can work it out to where a parent takes you to a game, maybe a teammate, if it's been okayed, and if they're okayed by their parents to drive, then we'll do that. And in some cases, you may get a ride with coaches as long as it's been approved, signed off, okayed by mom, dad, whomever. But we're not just going to pile people in the car and take off down the road. So we want to make sure we're safe. We're not going to have buses. It's not going to be like a high school situation where I can rent a bus and all that kind of situation. So when it comes to a room, if it's needed, you can double up. I've heard of some other programs that have quadrupled up. Again, it just kind of depends on what you're comfortable with and what your situation might be in terms of being able to pay for it. And like I said, I don't want to put a bunch of costs and burden onto you guys. I want you to have to just worry about playing and throw in a few bucks here or there for some entry fees. So when it comes to the club season, the length of the season is directly linked to the number of tournaments that are made available to us. So basically, when we hear about them, I'll let you know. Say, listen, we got this one coming up. Be aware of this weekend, these dates. This is the fee they're trying to charge. And what it seems like is that, for the most part, it's $300 for an entry fee each tournament, fairly universal, except for that first one. It's a couple bucks cheaper. So, and the more girls we can get out, the cheaper it's going to be for players. If we were to get a whole bunch more interest, we could even split up into 2 different teams. But as of right now, I had a few girls tell me that they couldn't make it tonight. And right now we have a few in attendance. So I don't think it's a problem we have to worry about quite yet. Just getting started. The idea is to start off ground level and then build this thing up as we go through. So hopefully by the time you guys have played a couple of years, we'll have a full-fledged program going. Okay. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and put my mug back up there on the camera for you guys. So are there any questions out there, any concerns, any issues that you guys have that you want to have addressed tonight? Anybody not have Twitter, not been to the platform before, don't know what to do about it? So we got a couple more people showing up. So what I can do is I can open up the mics if you want to, or you can feel free to type in the chat box if you have any questions or issues. No questions. That's what it looks like. That makes it easier on me, I guess. If there's anything that does come up, if you have anything that you want to address, you have those contacts in terms of the email, or if you've signed up for Remind, you can go ahead and send me a message through there. If you just want to get acquainted and say, hi, coach, you can do that. But again, the main things we need to make sure we knock out is if you're down to go ahead and play, getting a jersey set up. You're not sure the Remind link is working? Okay. The link? I didn't send the link. Sent the number and stuff. Anyway, main thing is if you're wanting to do this, wanting to move ahead, just make sure that you are getting your order in for your jerseys. If there are duplicate numbers, we'll try to work that out. Can't have more than one of the same number on the field at the same time. So, and also paying your AAU fee, your membership fee, just making sure that you have that up to date and ready to roll for the first. Okay. Well, guys, if there are no questions, which I still don't see anybody eager to go ahead and do so, I'll say we're good to go. Please make sure you go ahead and access that Google Documents form on Twitter so we can get your basic information. And I'll try to send out those links to you as soon as I get a way to contact you. And if you sign up for Remind, I'll of course shoot them out through that outlet as soon as possible. Okay. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. Hopefully we can get this thing going and keep it around for many years to come.